Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to discuss under Atma Siddhi Yoga on how a student can achieve 100% success in studies and building a divine character. So yesterday we have seen how a student should prepare for the examination to score 100 marks. That means during the study life, how he has to spend his time productively so that he prepares himself for 100% success in his studies. At the same time, he spends time for his relaxation, enjoying it. This morning 5 to 7, you should prepare for preview of the subject, what is going to be taught in the class, all the subjects. In case of up to 10th standard, we have 5 subjects: English, Tamil, Maths, Science, Social. All these 5 subjects. Today, because in a class, a particular day, a small portion, because a class is only for 45 minutes. So a teacher takes only for a small portion of lesson. So a small portion of a lesson we can study on the same day. So what is going to be taught? Today teacher says, tomorrow I am going to take lesson number 2. So come prepared. So what you have to do is, in science, you take lesson number 2, you just study it. Similarly, maths teacher says, tomorrow I am going to put this problem. So you prepare this lesson number, chapter number 2. Just go through it. What is the principles? What are the examples? Just go through it. In case of English, Tamil, same, whatever languages, just between 5 to 7, you just make a preview of the subject so that you have a background before you go to the class. So when you go to the class, each class, English, Science, Maths, Social, all the subjects, you have to just focus on what is being taught. So in case of subjects like Tamil, English, Social, Science, they are all in a descriptive type. Whereas in case of Maths, we have to, how to prepare for Maths means you have to take the steps. For every problem there is a step. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So you have to keep in mind what is the first step, what is the second step. So if the steps are given correctly, you will get 100 marks. So one of the important subjects where you can score 100 marks is Maths. So this is the way you have to prepare. So the steps you need to do. In case of descriptive subjects, I told you how to prepare for photographic memory technique. Each sentence you have to read 3 times, so that each sentence will get recorded in the subconscious mind, so that you can reproduce and score 100 marks. So everywhere. So the subjects, the class, when you understand thoroughly, being present in the present, know the subject thoroughly what teacher has told. But while taking the class, students may get doubt. Some brilliant students, they immediately raise the question and ask. But when the class is going on, just watch the class and then normally teacher what he asks after completing the subject, any doubt she is asked. So at that time, every student should raise and ask. When the class is going on, you should not raise the doubt. After the subject is over, you have to tell your teacher when she asks any doubt, you have to raise. If she doesn't have, once the chapter is over, you have to focus and ask what are the doubts. So when taking the class, you observe it. Any doubt that arises, you just keep it in mind, but follow the lecture thoroughly. Because when you get stuck in the doubt, you will miss the subject. So no doubt, and after the subject is over, the lecture is over, you can raise the questions and get it clarified. Suppose you are doubtful of asking the question, you can go to the teacher's room and ask her the doubts, but you should get clarified. And in the evening when you come back, you read the subject. After clarifying all the doubts, in the evening you just come back and read each subject. First English, then language, then science, then social, and finally sit for maths. So the whole day, the entire subjects, in the evening between 6 to 9, I told you. Between 4 to 6, you have to relax. You have to play some game, chess. The most powerful game that improves your IQ power, the intellectual power, and analytical power is the game of chess. Chess, you have to think and apply. Of course, like carom board, it increases your concentration power. Like whereas in case of badminton or other places, it not only increases your concentration power, it gives a good yoga exercise for your body, because since you move on various directions. So any game, it gives us the power of developing concentration on how to play the game so that you succeed. So this game theory method you can develop, but so the same you can apply for studies also, game theory method. But game theory, when you play, you should not have a grudge on the opposite party. You have to only win, not like that. So when opposite party wins, means that you have some weakness that you have to correct it. So that you have to gain the inspiration from the opposite party. So by playing game between 4 to 7, what you are going to gain is a sportive spirit. Whether you win or lose, you have to, the other party, opposite party is giving you an opportunity for you to bring out your talents. If you are failing, if you are losing the game, means that means the opposite party is strong. So you have to develop what is the quality he possesses, that you have to analyze and gain that experience so that you also win it. So everybody is having weakness. Error is common, human. So that error has to be corrected by analyzing. That is called Atma Vicharana. You have to correct yourself. But treat the game as a game, not to get jealous, hatredness, nothing you should develop. Treat it as a game with a sportive spirit. So the same thing you have to apply after 6 o'clock when you study for subject. So during that time, you chart down the 6 to 9, 3 hours. Suppose you are ready, you have to treat 5 subjects, means 5 subjects, you get 40 minutes. So 3 hours means 180 minutes. You just split it out into 3. So the five subjects and read it accordingly. Because the same day when you read, you have limited portion to be covered. The teacher, after giving the class, she gives the question and answers, the classwork note, that you are going to read, a small portion. But when you accumulate for entire month, then it becomes very big. The mind cannot take at the time. So when you're going for a monthly test, at that time if you read everything, the mind cannot accept everything. So you have to read on the same day itself. I told you how you have to prepare for how you have to make your time management. So 6 to 9, same day, same subject completed. So how you have to study, I told you, the fast reading technique, photographic memory and permanent memory. Fast reading, I told you, in the morning preview, you have to just draw a sketch. Take the lesson, you start the time, end time. Just take a stopwatch on your mobile. Start time. Just read it faster. See how fast you can able to read. So this is a game theory you are following. What you do is see that you complete at the faster rate. This improves the fluency of the language, and at the same time it gives you a background of the subject. So while you are reading, you have to apply your mind in such a way that you read the subject and at the same time understand the subject. Both should be done. So each sentence you have to read. First you read the sentence, understand. Second you read the sentence, understand. Third you read the sentence, understand. So like that. Simply you should not go on reading it with the hope that I want to complete the lesson faster. No. The reading method is such a way that when you read one sentence, read the sentence, understand it. Read the sentence, understand it. So each sentence you should read and understand it. Whatever amount of understanding you have, you understand it. And you have to keep dictionary inside so that whenever you have any doubt in a specific word, you have to refer dictionary. Either you keep a dictionary or you can have a mobile where you can check with the Google about the meaning for this word. You can identify. So you have to, that is the way you have to approach so that you learn the subject thoroughly by yourselves. First thing is, a person can succeed only by using his own knowledge. There are various avenues to increase your knowledge, but it should be done in a self-training method. Self-training method, preview and evening study. The classroom is only meant for only to give a guidance. Not that classroom alone is going to give you 100 marks. It's only a guidance. When you do preview, at the time, whenever you study a subject, if you have any doubt as to any specific words, you have to immediately refer to either in the Google search in the mobile, or you can keep a dictionary and find. With a dictionary you have to identify where the word is. But in case of Google search, you can immediately get the answer. So by that way, you should know each and every word, what is the meaning for it. And when you read a sentence thoroughly, you are recording the correct grammatical sentence in your mind. So when you write a sentence, you will not miss any grammatical error. So that is very important. Whether it is English or science or math, science or social, the sentence should be grammatically correct. So you have to record in your mind the sentence as a whole, grammatically. There will be a subject, there will be a predicate. But in between there will be adjective, verb, noun, everything will be there. So it should be arranged in a cogent way. The sentence will be arranged in a cogent way. You have to read it in a cogent way so that you can able to reproduce it correctly. So by reading the sentence faster, you are recording in your mind how to form a sentence correctly. So whenever you speak also, without your knowledge, you can speak with correct fluency and correct, grammatically correct also. So past tense or present tense or future, whatever the thing, without your knowledge it comes to the flow, because whatever you are reading, that gets stored in the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind gives you the way how to reproduce whenever it is needed. So that is the way you have to read it. So this fast reading technique you have. Photographic memory, I told you how we have to study. That is, when you read any question and answers, the question, you have to note down the keyword. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the keyword. In the photosynthesis, there are two paragraphs. Paragraph 1 contains 3 sentences, paragraph 2 contains 2 sentences. So sentence number 1, you have 5 words, sentence number 2, 6 words, sentence number 3, 7 words. So there are para 1, para 2, 3 sentences, 2 sentences. Here sentence number 5 words, 6 words, 7 words. Here 5 words, 6 words. So totally 11, here totally 18 words. So 18 plus 11, totally 29 words. So you have to first, before reading, you have to draw a clear in the margin. I told you, in the margin you have to draw this P1, P2, like this. You have to draw 3S, 2S. So when you draw like this, 5, 6, 7, then 5, 6. So this is 18, this is 11, totally 20. Like this, in the margin you have to draw. So that you have a clarity. In a particular question, there are descriptive question, 2 paragraphs, sentence number, para 1, 3 sentences, para 2, 2 sentences. So in para 1, you have a clarity that 5, 6, 7, para 3, para 2, you have 5 and 6, totally 18 words and 11, totally 28 words. This 28, once the background is clear, now you read each sentence 3 times, 3 times, 3 times, para 1 3 times, para 2, each sentence 3 times, 3 times, and para 2 3 times. So totally the answer you read 3 times. You just start the fast reading method technique, you jot down the program. I am going to read this particular answer. Having jotted down, now you start the stopwatch. You read each sentence 3 times. While reading first sentence, first read it, understand it. Read it, second sentence, read it, understand it. First time when you read it, understand, second time, third time. So each sentence you read 3 times and understand it. So like that, you just start the time and just read it as fast as you can and understand it. So if you read once, that is sufficient. How many times you are reading is not sufficient. Because when you don't have any clear picture as to how to study, if you are spending 1 hour, your mind gets diverted in different directions. And after 1 hour, if you see whether you understand the subject, whether you can write the answer, you are not clear. So that is the way normally it takes. But when you have a clarity as to how you have to study, what you have to study, and how to approach that, your clarity is there. Sentence will get recorded in mind, correct meaning also will get recorded in mind. And once after reading 1 time, that is sufficient. The quality of reading is important, not quantity. How many times you are reading the lesson is not important, question is not important. How effectively you are recording in your mind is very important. The systematic way you have to record it. That's the concept of photographic memory. So every day between 6 to 9, you have to apply this photographic memory and fast reading technique, because on the same day, small portion is there. So you can immediately cover it. So don't accumulate. Do it now, do not procrastinate. That is the word you have tried. Procrastinate means deferring. So on the same day you have to complete it. So like that, once you complete on the same day, I told you permanent technique. At the weekend, you are having 6 days school. 6th day, Saturday, once you complete, Saturday night you have to complete Saturday program. Sunday morning, you have to see that morning portion between 6 to 9. You cover the entire week's review. And Sunday, after 9 o'clock, have bath, come and sit, 10 o'clock after breakfast. From 10 to 2, you sit for monthly review. Of course, monthly you have a monthly test, quarterly, half-yearly, annually, that you can. So when you read the same subject, same lessons in this pattern, it gets permanently recorded. By the time you go for annual examination, you are thorough with the subject, so that you can score 100 marks. This is the way. But the thing is, now we are going to see why, though this is being followed, but still students will lack certain qualities. Why they could not able to secure the full marks what is needed. Why it is so? Because of the gunas what is stored in the subconscious mind. Each student has got different types of gunas. Some students are fearful, some introvert, shyness is there for them. They feel fear to ask any question. They feel shyness. They feel introvert. They will not speak much. Some students are bold. They are not fearful. They are bold, are confident, but they possess the jealousy, hatredness, anger. They want to tease other people. Some students are very kind, calm, cool, collective. So each student have got different qualities of gunas. What is this gunas? Why it has come to? Why it is different for different people? What is the quality? Because every student should build in them the sattvic gunas. Sattvic gunas means peace, patience, perseverance, dedication, devotion, involvement, understanding, and they should have love. Sattvic and divine gunas. The divine gunas, love all. Everybody you should have. You should show love, love and affection towards all, whether it is your classmates or to the teacher or to your parents or to your grandparents. Everybody you should love and affection, and you should have respect to everybody. That is the divine qualities. And the other important qualities is kindness, generosity. You should be there. In classroom, if you know something, you share with others. By sharing the knowledge, your knowledge grows. So these are the divine qualities you should develop. So now we have to see how the qualities, the gunas are getting stored in the subconscious, what is the cause for this, and how to overcome it in the next session.